Okay. Do you think if this is what your kid did during the summer that they'd be ready? Probably not. We'll see. All right, we are at Target. We are looking for the best back-to-school learning supplies for your little one. I have no idea what they have, if it's good, if it's bad, but if it looks decent, we're putting it in the cart. Addition, rhyming, colors and shapes, counting, letters, alphabet construction. This is nice. Well, the stuff inside isn't nice. The pocket chart's nice. Clips. Oh, that could be helpful. Yeah. All right. It's more of a teacher thing, but it could be cute to give to your kid. We found the whiteboard markers. A lot of like stuff for older kids, not a lot for little kids. Scissors, glue. I'll go with this. All right, we're gonna do some thick pencils for little hands. Summer Bridge, 1 to 2, K1. Oh, pre-K. Pre-K Summer Bridge, we'll see how this goes. So most families spend about $250 on learning supplies per year, per kid. I did my first round over there in the teacher section, got up to $216 and then realized I had another section and put some more stuff in. So this is gonna be pretty typical. And to be honest, I don't think we got a lot here that's gonna be super helpful for us. All right, so we got some workbooks. Sight words workbook. Love, wipe, and clean. Don't love sight words. Pre-K jumbo workbook. Kindergarten. Alphabet cards. Kindergarten learning pad. Bob. Pre-K flashcards. Ooh. Big preschool workbook. These are $9.99. To me, these are $12.99. Kindergarten Big Fun workbook. Jesus. Another one. We'll see how this goes. Okay. Do you think if this is what your kid did during the summer that they'd be ready? Probably not. We'll see. All right, we are done shopping. I spent $216 in that main section, and I thought we were done. We're gonna go to like a dollar store or something to find more. And then they told me all the school supplies were in the back. So we spent $202 after that on workbooks alone. All right, so we just left Target. Honestly, I spent a lot of money. I did not like spending the money. It brought me back to being a kid, going back to school shopping and not being able to afford a lot of the stuff. But we got it. We're gonna see what's good, what you might wanna get, and what's not gonna be super helpful for your kid. All right, if you've ever wondered what $400 at Target looks like, unfortunately, it looks like this. So I'm going to organize these materials and I'm gonna show you what might be a good purchase for your little one, where you might wanna save your money, and if I would recommend actually getting any of this stuff to help your little one get ready for school. That one might have been a mistake. More workbooks. First in school stuff. Put flashcards together. Tactile. Hands-on stuff. Okay, so I broke this down into 6 categories. I was able to organize it. We have flashcards, workbooks, basic back to school supplies, write and wipe, tactile learning and movement, and we have whiteboards and flip charts. Okay, so I did get some math stuff and some other subjects just to see what they had. I'm gonna put this to the side. This is not the best use of your time and energy. You're much better off just like writing a bunch of problems than actually having them memorize flashcards. I think the best flashcards they actually have are these alphabet flashcards, which are gonna be super cheap in terms of like the construction. But the fact that they have flashcards available that are just a letter by itself with no picture next to it, that's positive. And this set has like the uppercase and the lowercase. So the downside is your kid is gonna be able to rip these, tear them, eat them, whatever. But, you know, for the money, for the cost, if you can't afford something that's like sturdier and bigger, or this just more convenient, I think we're actually gonna keep these alphabet flashcards in our pile to recommend. And then all the colors, shapes, rhyming, math, I don't think flashcards are gonna be our best way of teaching this. I'm gonna pass on this stuff here. Okay, so looking through some of these pre-K workbooks, the instructions of the books look like they're harder than the actual activities themselves. And we want this to be as easy as possible for kids to complete. I don't see a world where a kid in pre-K can look at this workbook and know what to do. This is a big, beautiful workbook. I'm gonna say no. Scholastic pre-kindergarten. I don't know how a 4-year-old is supposed to be able to look at this workbook and understand what to do. This one's a no. Big preschool, this one's a no. Hard no. Reading readiness workbook. Print the missing letter. This is having them do a little bit more work already. This is much better. You can even see how simple the language is and the instructions are on each page. You can have a kid who can't read this, who can look at this and generally understand what I'm supposed to do is I'm supposed to complete the first sound, okay? This is already better because it's gonna be much easier for them to understand. These activities where they're actually writing in and having to fill out the beginning sound, the end of the word, identify the short vowel, this is actually gonna help get them ready if you're teaching this to them in a way that they can understand. I'm good with this. This one is also a yes for me because it's not just them like tracing a letter with their finger, they're actually having to finish it out and do work in this, right? It's a workbook. They're actually having to work and you can look at and see how they're doing. Are they staying in the lines? Are they tracing it? Are they getting the formation correctly? This is way, way, way better if you're gonna have to do a workbook than a lot of the big ones we have here, okay? This one's a yes for me. Sight words. This one is gonna be a no before I open it. This book might be the best example of like a really effective way to waste your money. So this summer bridge activity book here, K-1 is way better than the pre-K, but it's doing reading, writing, math, science, social studies, fitness. Like this is too much stuff at once. Your kid is going back and forth between subjects in a way that's not productive. They're bouncing around way too much and it's mixing too many activities at once. I'm gonna give this one no. Highlights, kindergarten ages 5 to 6, big fun workbook. It pains me how much money I spend on these workbooks. I'll say that. That's a no, and it's not fun. Highlights, write on, wipe off, let's write letters. Love it. I'm shocked, okay? What I like about this is, okay, ignore literally like half of what's happening over here. If you have a kid who's coming in working on handwriting, you're literally giving them the equivalent of like a dry erase board, the exact letter to write, uppercase and lowercase, and they just practice over and over and over again. That's all it is. Highlights gets a yes. Okay, this is the last thing I'll say about the workbooks, okay? You've got a lot of stuff that looks pretty and it looks nice, but just put a 5-year-old in the position doing this, okay? It says to look at the picture, cover the word, write the word, and if you get it correct, check the box, okay? Do you think you're gonna put your kid with this workbook and they're gonna like look at this and not just copy it right there and check the box? Let me say this about workbooks too, okay? Some kids like workbooks. So if you've got a kid who likes a workbook, any of these are fine. Put it in front of them and let them just like put their finger across a letter or like scribble some stuff in, whatever, keep them occupied, put them in front of the workbook. But just know that it's not gonna teach them to read. It's not gonna build the skill unless they're actually practicing and writing something out and doing something in it that they can follow the direction on, okay? But this is not gonna be helpful. Don't spend your money on it unless you just need something for your kid to do that's not screen time. Next, we have the more tactile learning stuff, alphabet construction activity. So in this one, they're gonna tell you what pieces you need to make each letter, and then they're gonna have the kid build it.
I like the idea of this, right? If you leave your kid alone with something like this, and you just have them build and look at the letters, what's happening in their head is not, oh, I built the letter A says A. What's happening in their head is like, let's build that shape. It's the same as playing with magnet tiles. It's gonna be fun. It's not gonna be great for actual learning unless you're standing above them, coaching them, explaining and having them say the letters down as they do it. Sand tracing tray, I'm actually excited about this one. This one looks like it would be fun. Letter A. Yeah. As advertised. I'll make this one a yes. Okay, so I actually just saw that you can put these here. And this is probably even better because what you could do is you could have the kid like ask them what sound is this or what letter is this, and they don't get to actually use the sand until they tell you what it is, okay? That's gonna be a really effective way to practice sounds and make sure that they're actually saying them to you too. This one is going to be a yes. Next up, the write and wipe. I can tell you just by looking at these, I actually really like this category for kids who are working on their handwriting. So if the focus is like, I want my kid to be a better reader, you're probably not gonna get it from this. But if it's, let's just have them write and practice staying in lines or filling in shapes and that sort of thing, this is gonna be really helpful for that, okay? Anytime I see this going on in like a workbook or something, this is just too much, okay? We're just, it's hard to even tell what you're supposed to do. And they're just putting a bunch of pictures in here to make it seem appealing to your kid, okay? No, on this one, we're looking for something simple, just something simple that the kid can write, that they can follow on their own. All right, we're gonna make a new rule for Target, okay? If you see the invisible ink, this is your clue, do not buy, okay? This means that they're trying to make it fun, not effective. Invisible ink for me is gonna be a no. Okay, alphabet, this one says hours of scratch off fun. Whoa. Okay, this one is sick. I can only leave space for one. But literally, your child is gonna wanna practice writing their letters if they're scratching off and it's like a rainbow color. This one is sick. This one is not only effective in practice, this is something that your kid is gonna wanna do. But in terms of practicing handwriting with your kid and getting them to stay on the lines and really focus on the letter, I think this is gonna be excellent. And I'm excited to see my son practice with this. This one's gonna be a yes. Okay, this is the section I was actually most excited about. You can really give your kid anything with this, okay? Pocket charts, generally effective. These are really good for homeschool, morning meeting, that sort of thing. I say definitely grab it. Dry erase tracing. I love this because what this says is like, they're not gonna actually learn the letters or learn the numbers. They're literally just gonna trace them over and over to get good at their handwriting. And I support that. For all of like this write and wipe kind of stuff, where it's in a chart, my thought is like, yes on this stuff, if this is what your kid is working on. If your kid, like something I'm working on with my son, is writing sentences and having him illustrate, if that's what they're working on, this is perfect, right? Have them illustrate, have them write a sentence. If they're working on addition, we're also working on this. They have tens frames, a bunch of really good math stuff here. This is a big yes, okay? You can literally do anything you want with this, okay? They're working on math, give them math. Working on reading, give them sentences. Working on writing, have them write something. Like, this is gonna be out of everything at Target, like skip that little teacher section, skip the school supplies, go to like the office, desk organization. This is gonna be the best thing that you can use to teach your child to get ready for school. So partway through this horrendous shopping trip, I realized I wasn't gonna be able to keep all this stuff, and I don't have a need for all this stuff. So I wanted to throw in just some basic back to school supplies too, so we can package some of this stuff up and send it with the kid who is going back to school. I think the most unique thing out of this is like this organizer, and this is gonna be something that a lot of teachers have at school anyways. So if you can get some back to school stuff and you have a little organizer to put on a desk or a table for your child, this is gonna be really helpful for getting them ready for kindergarten. So they're already organizing their materials, already organizing their stuff and getting into that habit. So I definitely recommend this blue basket, but otherwise we're gonna package some of this stuff up and make sure that someone has this as they go back to school this year. So here's the deal. I spent over $450 at Target on learning supplies. Out of that stuff, I narrowed it down to less than $50 worth of stuff. that I actually think is gonna help your child as you get them ready. Most of this stuff is literally just dry erase and marker. So if you wanted to buy one thing, you can buy a whiteboard and a marker and get the value of almost all of this stuff. And to be honest with you, like part of why this pisses me off, it's not just the fact that I wasted money on this stuff, okay? That there's like $400 worth of stuff to the side. It's the fact that family after family and parent after parent is going to places like this. It's not just Target. It's Target, it's Walmart, it's Dollar Tree, it's wherever, and you're wasting your money. You're putting something in front of your kid that you think is helping them learn, when in reality, there's nothing happening in their head while they're tracing that letter or while they're completing that puzzle. There's nothing happening. So a lot of this stuff, these big ass companies, they know better. They know that what they're putting out is not going to help your kid learn, but they put it out anyways because they know you're going to buy it. So here's my final recommendation, okay? I would start with your child and I'd say, what do they need, okay? Do they need math? Do they need writing? Do they need reading? And I would start there and I'd say, well, what's the thing that they're weakest in, okay? And let's say that that thing happens to be reading. From there, I would look at what is going to give them the most practice in the thing that they need, okay? We're going to go reading, where we're looking for something that's going to give them practice, okay? We're looking for something that's going to be easy to understand so they can actually complete the activities. Ideally, we're looking for something that's customizable, like a whiteboard, so we can adjust to their needs as they go. And finally, outside of whatever you buy, okay, we're thinking about how we give the directions and how we support them as they go, right? Because you can take something that's really good and make it really bad, or something that's really bad and make it really good, depending on the directions and the support you give when your little one is working. So this is ultimately what you're looking for, but it's going to depend and it's going to change from kid to kid. And almost all of this, something that they're going to get a lot of practice, easy to understand, customizable, where you can support them, is going to require you buying nothing. You can do this with a whiteboard and marker. You can do it with pencil and paper. You can make it up. It really doesn't matter. The thing that matters is that you know what they're working on and you know what to give them to help support that. So I hope you found this video helpful. If you had better luck than I did with back to school shopping, please let me know what you found in the comments. And until next time, I will talk to you soon.